Hello guys and happy Tuesday. So what I thought I would do today is actually walk through an update on my net worth, really, because the last time I did that I think it was in January, so it has been a couple of months. So I thought I would just update you guys and just show you the numbers and let's just see what's happening. And then what I thought I would also do is of course go through my budget for April, and so hopefully we can budget together. So I really do enjoy these videos. Now if you are new to my channel, I do tend to use a template that I made which you can also access as well. So if you are interested, I do a weekly or monthly budgeting spreadsheet, so I will of course link that in the description below. But yeah, enough talking, let's just walk through my net worth statement for April as well as my budget as well. So let's move over to my 2021 net worth statement. So as you can see, we are currently in April. So at the moment I don't have any forms of high interest debt, so I don't have any things like credit cards or store credit cards, overdrafts and all of that stuff. If you are actually new to my channel, then you might not know that I did actually have debt before. So I had an overdraft of about £2,000, and then I also had a car loan as well. So my car was financed. Now I managed to pay that off, so I do have a video talking through that in a bit more detail if you are interested. So I will of course link that up here for you and in the description below. But luckily I don't have any forms of high interest debt at the moment, so I don't have liabilities in that sense. I don't tend to include student loans in this as well, so I actually do lots of different statements. So I do one with my student loans, one without, really, because with student loans they're very different in the UK compared to other countries like the US. With things like that I don't tend to see it as total liabilities, just because if I was to lose my job, for example, I don't actually need to pay it off. So that's really the main reason why I choose not to include it. Of course that is up to you, some people do, some people don't. I kind of have two different ones just to see what it's like, and I actually do have a video where I talk about my net worth including my student loans as well, so I'll definitely link that in the description below for you if you do want to check that out. I think the next net worth update I will probably include my student loans. So for now I'm going to keep it a mystery, and you guys can actually guess how much I have left on my student loans if you want to do that, and we can reveal it in my next net worth update. So that's really the main liabilities. In terms of the mortgage, so most of you guys will know that I do co-own this house with my mother, but really when it comes to the mortgage, she kind of pays that off. I kind of see this as her own house. My name is just on there, so I don't tend to include it in my personal net worth statement. However, eventually when I do buy a house, I will of course include that in my net worth statement. So if we move over to my assets, the first thing that I want to talk about is my savings. So you can see I currently have £4,000 in my savings, and really the main reason is because I'm trying to save up for a buy-to-let property. So I'm very interested in property, if you're new to my channel and you didn't know that, but I know returning subscribers, you probably know that already. So I currently do have £4,000 in there, and you might be questioning why it's still only £4,000, because actually you can see in March I had about £4,000 in there as well. The main reason is because we are trying to increase our emergency fund. So again, if you're new to my channel and you don't know about my life at the moment, what we're basically trying to do is I'm basically getting married in a few months, and we want to have a 3-month emergency fund, and I've calculated that to be about £2,000 per month. So really it does mean that we have to save about £6,000 for our emergency fund. My emergency fund was about £2,000 before. The main reason is because I don't really have a lot of expenses, but now because I'm getting married, I'm going to be moving out and things like that, so our expenses are going to be slightly higher. So currently I've got about £3,000 in there, so that we now have £6,000 for our emergency fund, which is all well and good. Now that we've done that and got that out of the way, we can start saving again towards our buy-to-let purchase, which is very exciting. And then moving on to my ISA, so this is my stocks and shares ISA, and if you didn't know, I do also invest in the stock market as well. So currently I have about £2,397.06 in there. And the one thing I haven't actually included in here is my pensions, and I think I did mention this in my January video talking through my net worth, so if you want to check that out, of course I'll link that up here for you and in the description below. But it's something that I'm still doing, and to be honest I keep procrastinating for some reason, but I have started to look at my pension statements. I've looked at a couple of my pension statements. You know when you've just had some jobs, where I had a lot of part-time jobs and I had pensions, and so I'm really just trying to think about where I actually keep those letters. So it's just a really big manual process, but at the moment what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to consolidate all of those pensions and actually put that into a SIP. So if you don't know what a SIP means, it means a self-invested personal pension. Basically what I would be doing is I would actually be choosing the funds myself, because I realized that a lot of different pension providers, there are going to be different fees and things like that, and I kind of want to have a bigger element of control when it comes to that. So at the moment I'm currently looking at Vanguard as my platform, and to be honest I'm a really massive fan of Vanguard, even though I don't personally invest through Vanguard at the moment through my stocks and shares ISA, because I do use Trading 212. Vanguard was something that I've always had my eye on, so I really want to see if I can try and do a SIP with Vanguard as well. So it means that I can use that platform as well, which I'm I'm very excited about. So I do need to do that hopefully within the next few months, but I know it's something that I keep procrastinating on. As I always say, no one is perfect when it comes to personal finances. So in total, my net worth is about £9,397.06. Of course, again, if you do include student loans, it's going to be minus, and it's probably going to be minus, I don't know, 50 odd grand or something. But at the moment, this is kind of how I see my net worth. I'm pretty happy with how everything is going right now, and yeah, we will see what happens over the next few months. So now I want to move over to my budget for April. So in terms of my total income, most of you will know that I don't tend to share my full salary. However, I do earn under £35,000 a year, in case you are interested. In terms of my side hustle, I do now start to have a bit of income when it comes into that, but I'm reinvesting all of that money back into my side hustle because I do have a few expenses that I do want to pay for. So that's really the main reason why I don't tend to take income from there, and really why you won't see that in my budget at the moment. Let's move over to my savings and investments. So again, I do have £1,000 going straight into my savings, which is happy days, and that's going to go towards my savings for a buy-to-let, as I mentioned before. Then I've got another £200 going into my stocks and shares ISA, so that's something that I've been doing probably every single month over the past few months. And then I've also got an additional amount going into my personal side hustle, so I am putting more money, about £150 into my side hustle as well. Again, it's because there are certain expenses that I want to pay for, and I now see this as a business, which is really exciting. So yeah, that's all my savings and investments, total £1,350. Then when it comes to essential bills, as I've mentioned before, because I don't pay the mortgage and I don't pay rent at the moment, that is currently zero. So again, shout out to my mum who's letting me live here for free. But if you are new to my channel, you might not know that I do actually contribute to other things in the house, just not the mortgage. So that's basically why it's zero. I am leaving quite soon, so yep, we'll see how that goes. And then with my SIM contract, again, I am with Voxy, so I pay about £10 a month and I get endless social media data, which is amazing. And then I also get some internet and unlimited calls and texts as well. And if you are interested in Voxy, then I will leave a refer a friend link in the description below for you. They are owned by Vodafone, I believe, so I don't think that's changed there. And then also I have an element of giving, so this is something that I think is very, very important based on my faith and just in general as well. So I do give charity and tithes to my church. Again, I do keep that a bit private, but it's something that I religiously do every single month. So yeah, those are my essential bills. I don't have any debt repayments because I don't have any high interest debt. And if you're liking this video so far, then be sure to give me a thumbs up, as it really does help to support the channel, plus it's free. So moving over to sinking funds, so this hasn't really changed that much since last month either. So if you missed out my budget update for March, of course I will link that up here for you and in the description below if you do want to check it out. But in terms of my sinking funds, Christmas presents and clothes remain the same, as well as personal development. The only thing that has changed is the home insurance. So if you didn't know, I was actually saving up for home insurance. That's one of the things that I do contribute towards the house. So what I was doing before was I was putting about £50 a month towards my home insurance. So I had budgeted about £200 hopefully by the end of April so that I could just purchase the home insurance. But because I used comparison sites and I never ever auto renew my insurance, whether it's home insurance, car insurance, any of that stuff, I don't really do. So because I then cancelled my auto renew and I was also using comparison sites so I could get the best deal, home insurance has basically cut in half. So I think I only paid over £100 for that rather than having to pay £200, which is great for me because it meant that I had more extra cash. So if you ever have insurance and things like that, do not bother auto renewing unless they're going to give you a really, really good deal. Take the time to just go on comparison sites and see if you can get a better deal, because honestly you'll end up saving a lot of money. So I've essentially saved like £100, and I think if I renewed it, it was going to cost me about £220 or something like that. So those are my sinking funds, in total £80. Then next up we move over to spending. So I think this is probably the exciting part for a lot of people. So the first thing is groceries. Now I have budgeted about £80 for groceries. Most of the time I will budget about £65. The only reason why is because this week, from the time that I got paid, it's about 5 weeks rather than 4 weeks. So I do actually have to budget an extra week for that. So that's why it's £80. So again, I do try to stick to about £15 to £16 a week. And that's why, again, it's about £80, because if you divide that by 5, I think that's about £15. So that's really my budget for groceries. And then eating out, yes, I get to now budget for eating out, which is great. So I budgeted about £30, and I think that's just mainly because things are starting to open up again within the UK. So hopefully I'll be able to, you know, go out to eat somewhere, which is very exciting. And then entertainment, again, things are slowly starting to open up as well. So I do think we'll probably end up doing something outside maybe. So I budgeted about £20. Travel, that's really mainly to do with public transport. So I still do work at home. I don't actually leave leave my house for a lot of things, and even when I go out to groceries I just walk to the supermarket. So travel is really going to be if I have to travel somewhere outside of my house that's not the supermarket. So I budgeted about £10 for that. The next one is toiletries, which remains the same, so I tend to only spend about £15 usually. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but £15 for this month, which is great. And then also house groceries, so I do tend to contribute also to other things in the house, things like bread, milk, fruits and things like that. So I budgeted about £20 for this month again. And then with miscellaneous I've budgeted about £20, so this is in case there's anything else that maybe crops up, or maybe I overspend in some areas, I'm not too sure, but that £20 is there. And then also I've got pennies, so really this is just money that's left over in my budget. I add that to my pennies jar, so that's about £2. So in total for spending it's about £197 this month. Now again, the one thing I would say is definitely please try not to compare your budgets to mine, because this has taken me a good couple of years for me to strip back a lot of these things. I do have a video talking through how long it took me to save my first £1,000, and I actually walked through my budget in detail when I actually first started budgeting, and it definitely was not like this. So if you want to check that out, of course I will link that up here for you and in the description below. But yeah, I would definitely say please don't compare yourself to me, because this has taken a while for me to get to this point. And as long as you're making progress and you're actually trying to be intentional with your budgeting, then that's all anyone can ask for, to be honest. So what I now want to do is have a quick look at the yearly roundup. So this talks about the percentages based on my essential bills, savings and all of that stuff. And you can see currently I am saving or investing about 72% of my income, which is great. And then actually it's only 9% of my spending. So again, I don't tend to spend a lot, but this is really just based on the fact that I now have things like sinking funds, which stops me from overspending, and it's just something that's taken a while for me to get to this point. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I'm looking forward to April. So if you did like this video, then remember to give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments, are you looking forward to your budget for April? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Friday.